Hello, it's Nicola. I'm going to have a bit of an experiment today. I've got titanium white Pebeo Studio acrylics paint, and I've got some wet strength tissue paper. This is Carnival tissue paper. I bought it from a company in Brighton in the UK, and I believe you can buy it on Amazon, but it's wet strength, so that's what I'm going to use. Now, this idea is based on one I've just watched Elizabeth St. Hilaire doing. She's the queen of gel plates, and she did the initial bit with her gel plate, the white bit, and it's to create a background that can then be used for layering. Now, I haven't got the product she had. She used a crepe medical exam paper. I haven't got any of that, so I'm just going to try this out with the wet strength tissue. If you don't see this video, you know it didn't work. So we're just going to try it and see what happens. I will put a little bit of tape, which might tear my, I might just put it on the side there so it doesn't tear my tissue. Let's just find a little bit more. I have bits stuck on the side of my desk, which is glass, so it, you know, it's fine to stick them there. So I'm just going to do that to hold my stencil still. I'm going to use a bit of kitchen foam thing, which I've just cut up into smaller piece, and we'll go for some white. And I'm just going to apply that. You could do this as a on your gel plate if you wanted to. And the stencil I'm using, which is possibly an IndigoBlu one, I'm not 100% sure, but I've chosen this one just because it's got lots of different backgrounds that I can then use at a later date, if this technique works. I know the principle should work because she's demonstrated it beautifully herself, obviously, but whether the using of wet strength tissue paper will work, I'm not quite sure. Running out of, didn't want to put too much paint out. Oops, got a lump on there now. Now, because the next stage of this does involve wet, some colour and some wet, I wouldn't advise using ordinary tissue paper because I think it will probably disintegrate. Okay, hopefully I've got a bit of colour, or a bit of white, absence of colour, on there. So that now needs to dry before I can do stage 2. So I shall be back soon when I've cleaned my stencil and let this dry. Okay, stage 2, this is now dry, is turn it over so that the painty side is down, and then I'm going to use some transparent acrylic paint. Let's do a blob of that, and we're going to wet it and we're going to water that down so it becomes a wash. So let's just have a go at that then. So this is why you don't want to be doing it on ordinary strength tissue paper, because it will just probably fall apart on you. You could certainly try, but I think it might well fall apart on you. So there we go. So the idea is then that you have whatever colour you've put on the background being blocked when you turn it back to the front again by the white. The white might take up some of the colour, I don't know. We will only find out when it's dried and we've had a look. So that needs to come out of there. That needs to dry on something non-stick. And let's put it that way up on there. So you can see that that white, although it's taken up a bit of the pink, it has kind of largely resisted it. Now, if it dries with wrinkles in it, I don't particularly mind, but it will pull the colour on the back, but you know, it is what it is, that's fine. And the idea is that we're creating something that is layerable. Is that a word? I don't know. This is where saving old plastic bags is very handy. So I might just lift that up, put it onto some polythene and put that out of the way. Oopsie daisy, put that in there, never mind. And let's get that wiped up. And let's try another one. Because you're using acrylic paint, although it's watered down, of course acrylic paint is basically matte medium or gloss medium, but with colour in it. So, you know, it is a sort of a glue-based product. So it's sensible to just have it drying on something that you can remove it from afterwards. So that's hence the non-stick. Okay, let's try some more of this. And another sponge, because I've washed up the other one. Let's go back to these stencils, Studio Light stencil. Let's use that. This is Mask MB04 from Studio Light. So let's use that one. Bit of tape to hold it still. The downside is I can't quite see where my paper is under here. So I'm going to use my tape. So top and bottom of the tape there indicates the top and bottom of my paper. Right, so let's go for some titanium white. Now, whether this would work with gesso, it might do. I should have tried that, shouldn't I? Tell you what, I will use some gesso on the bottom half because I've run out of that. I will use another bit of sponge, so let's cut that. Chop that up. Let's find, there's my gesso. It's not the best gesso in the world. Let's give it a shake because I've not used it for a little while. This is it's the same company, but it's white gesso. And let's try that. Whether this will resist enough. It's quite a thin gesso. It might be that it doesn't resist enough. if you've got a better quality gesso, this has been all I've needed, because I've used it for things like priming things before I put other paint on, like sorry, I've got some dry paint in there, need to get rid of that. You know, MDF and things like that, so it's fine for doing things like that where you just need to prepare your surface. But it's not marvellous for being opaque, shall we say. Right, so I need to label that. Let's take a pencil. Just want to put, let's put a little marker there, and then put a G for gesso down there. So again, that needs to dry, and I shall be back in a minute. Hello, it's the next day, and these are now dry. I painted this one in the same way as I did that one, but I used this iridescent green blue. So on the right side, as it were, you can't see the iridescence, but you can on there. And this is what I was talking about when I said about them drying. If they have wrinkles in them, you get this sort of pooling of colour, which is what you can see there. So that's the reason that sort of streaks there, which doesn't matter to me. But if it matters to you, then just make sure you dry it completely flat. And our experiment of the white paint versus the G for gesso. Gesso works just as well, so you can use either product. So this one I used primary magenta, and all the products I've used have been the Pebeo ones. This one I didn't put any white on because well, I just hadn't stenciled it basically, but I wanted to use up the paint that was left over from my first one, and so I've got one that's done but without the white to it. I dare say I could add some white to it. No reason why not, but I can use it for whatever. The reason for using acrylics rather than a water-based product on the back of here is so that any other techniques that might be used will not shift the colour from this. If you were to use a water-based, so inks or ink pads or watercolours, then you're at risk of moving those colours again once you do some other techniques. So that's the reason for the acrylics on this occasion. So I will be back with another video using one or other or both of these. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet. I have a vague idea in mind, but we'll see what evolves. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this technique and can see some ways that you might be able to use it in your crafting, and I will see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.